In 2012, the results of a 2-year study into the toxicity of the herbicide Roundup were published. French researchers fed rats with low levels of the chemical formulation and others ate genetically modified maize grown with Roundup.
In the male rats, there were liver and kidney disorders, including tumours, and even more worryingly, in the female rats, there were mammary tumours at a level which is extremely concerning. Up to 80% of the female rats had mammary tumours by the end of the trial.
Roundup is a herbicide developed by the American agricultural biotechnology giant Monsanto in the 1970s. It's now the most widely used herbicide in the world, sprayed onto fields to kill weeds through its active ingredient glyphosate. The crops, though, such as soya, seen here, are genetically modified to tolerate glyphosate and are marketed by Monsanto as Roundup Ready. Very few GM crops are grown in the EU, but millions of tons of GM soya are imported every year for animal feed. However, some farmers feel Roundup residues in the feed have affected their livestock.
As Denmark is only a small country, we import 1.7 million ton soya, mainly GM. For a number of years, found that we had many deformities born as deformed piglets. And we've had 23 in the last 1.5 years. It's cranial deformities, spinal deformities, one with 6 organs, one with heart. It was totally fluffed up with water.
The use of glyphosate has been declared safe for humans and the environment at certain levels by regulators in the US and Europe.
You have to look at this the other way. Can we afford not to use this technology? And the GM crops have passed all the food safety tests that the non-GM ones have. There's more people in the world to feed every single day. There are more houses built on land that used to grow crops, and we are exhausting the sea of fish. Add all those things together and we must farm better.
Aside from health concerns, UK farmer Michael Hart from Cornwall claims glyphosate is ineffective over time. He's travelled to meet farmers in America and made videos of his time there.
The situation has changed in that now farmers are experiencing big problems with weeds that have become also tolerant of the herbicide that is used on the herbicide-tolerant crop, and now insects become intolerant to the insecticide that's built into the plant. Most farmers that I spoke to being quite open about not wanting to grow them anymore. What would you recommend to me as a UK farmer and to other European farmers? Should we go down the route of genetically modified crops, or is it something you think we should avoid doing?
Well, I would say, at all cost, avoid doing it.
In the next few months, EU environment ministers should vote on allowing the first large-scale cultivation of Roundup-ready crops in Europe, but campaigners are stepping up their fight to stop it.
So far they have only been used for imports, largely for animal feed, which is already very concerning. But now they want to approve it for cultivation, which means that we will have Roundup-ready maize, Roundup-ready soy, Roundup-ready oilseed rape, sugar beet. All these Monsanto crops, they'll be out on the fields, and that will massively increase the use of Roundup on the fields in Europe.
With Europe's population still largely resisting GM foods, the pressure is on for ministers to decide whether growing Roundup Ready and other GM crops is best for the EU.